Hello everyone, welcome back to Intel Extreme Masters live here in Sao Paulo. We are underway with the game number two between OceloteWorld and Fierce Gaming. Game number one, it was more of a one-sided affair, but it was a very slow build up to that.
The Nidalee looked pretty on point that game. I was actually pretty impressed with his play, but the bottom lane looked a little outclassed, and I didn't really like the team composition that was going down there.
So I'm getting told by a producer.
Scumbags. Back, man. I'll defend you.
Hold me back. You're grabbing me.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I mean, it's been a great 2 days so far. Portugueses have been doing a fantastic job. The crowd has been amazing. But game number two, I mean, we talked about the Nidalee a little bit. We weren't really sold with the Vi jungle pick.
I like the Nidalee pick. Nidalee poke type comps are pretty good against scale. It's just, like, what are you going to do with that Vi? I mean, the Shyvana's like all right, but I would rather see a more CC-oriented top lane if you're going to go with that poke comp. And then, of course, the bottom lane just, they picked the Caitlyn Lulu to push that lane, and it just went completely the opposite way. That Jinx just manhandled that lane. What
was so weird is that you talked about them, you know, they can shut the lane really quickly. They never tried.
Yeah, it looked like they just got caught in that early engage by the Annie. Remember, Caitlyn got chunked out, and yeah, they just never got that push off that they wanted.
Oh my god, that guy just grabbed his boobs. Oh my god, he just jiggled them. I don't know why, that was really funny. I was watching it. That is going to be awkward. But anyways,
calm down over there.
They're focusing on him, and that's his 15 seconds of fame right there. Just
the boobs on the. That's going to be a meme on Reddit.
Oh, what movie was that? Oh, the meme the guy jiggles, the little kid.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
Someone tweet to me about that at Jay Kaplan's. I really want to. I can't remember what that was.
The Goonies.
The Goonies. Thank you. That's what I thought of.
All right, so they banned the Renekton. I don't think they want to deal with that anymore. It was a pretty scary crocodile. And then the Kale ban. All right, so these are some pretty reactionary bans. Like, all right, we don't want to deal with the Kale anymore. He's like two-shotting people. A little scary. Even though I feel like Ocelot didn't play that lane to its max potential, it was still enough to definitely draw a ban.
Oh, we do see Cassidy and Ziggs taken away from OceloteWorld. Same bans out of them, just a different order.
Yeah, definitely give it the Cassidy ban. I mean, you don't want to give anybody gas.
Well, the thing is, if you remember, Ocelot has bad memories at Intel Extreme Masters back in Katowice of a Cassidy, a certain person backdooring his team.
Yeah. Names will not be named here.
Yeah, definitely not. But we do see at least as the last ban. So we're going to see at least one ban similar to Fierce Gaming. They don't want to see more than on that. Yeah,
at least it's just the early pressure jungle. I don't really think they want to deal with it. So I'm wondering if they're going to opt for that Lee Sin pick again.
Wow. But they're hovering over Jace right now.
I don't think they'll first pick a Jace. There's no way they'll do that.
I mean, he's been hit so many times by the Nerf hammer.
I honestly don't think he's that bad at the top lane right now. I really don't. I really don't think he's that bad of a top laner. But I just don't see first picking it. I mean, it limits your team comp so much if you do that, and they're just going to pick a hard engage comp if you early pick a Jace.
Well, let's see what they do in fact go with here, and I really wonder if they're. I mean, if they do pick up a Jace, I kind of go for that old school poke comp kind of thing, but.
We'll see a Trundle in here too. We'll just throw it all together. Just everything with the poke.
Right, God. But right now, they're still just hovering on that one. And I want to see what Ocelot's team's going to go with here. I mean, they had such a strong lineup, and I'm actually glad to see that switch to Thresh last second because Dio's so damn good.
Yeah, that's a really safe pick. I like that. Ban, which is one of the champions that gives Thresh a little bit more trouble. But I think it's really good. Even if they pick Leona, Thresh is pretty good against Leona. It's just a universally good pick.
All right, well, also, they're taking the time here. It seems like maybe they were expecting to get Thresh or something like that, but there's so many different things they can pick here. And if you're on OceloteWorld's side, if you're in this kind of situation, you see the supports picked, like, we always wonder, at least as casters, what's going through their minds. Like, should we pick support now, not give anything away, being on that red side? I mean,
that's really depends on what you want to go in with this. I mean, some people like actually picking Leona into Thresh, even though it's a little bit rough lane. Maybe they do want to just put their support out there right away, and then just pick a strong jungle pick. Vi is still up. Wukong Pantheon jungle. There's so many.
I want to see that by the end of today.
RNA promised me he'd show it to me, so maybe we'll see it if they go to the finals.
All right, looks like wow. So Gragas and Yasuo, they were banned out last game. Gragas was taken away by Fierce Gaming, and Yasuo was taken away by OceloteWorld.
I wonder if that's going to be the Gragas jungle, or that either they're going to put a mid lane and the Yasuo top. I think it's going to be the Gragas jungle, but. Actually, no, if I remember last game, they banned Yasuo, so...
Yeah, they banned Yasuo, and then Fierce Gaming banned out Gragas.
Yeah, it looked like I'm not sure why they would ban him and they just pick him in first rotation the next game.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure if Ocelot's even a Yasuo player.
I would imagine he isn't. He played a lot of Gragas when they were practicing as a team trying to get into the Coke League,
Yeah,
so I
it
wouldn't say
doesn't
that
seem
they
like
go in middle.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an Ocelot type champion either. So I can see him being top lane in the course of Gragas mid. And Gragas is a pretty safe champion. It doesn't really have that many bad matchups. Even if you counterpick him at this point, it's like, oh hey, we'll just put him in the jungle. So I like that pick.
That is very true. Also, even in the top lane, we saw Kevin do that not so long ago too. And to me, JWoww is a really aggressive top laner. Like I was saying before, he plays Kha'Zix as well. He's really well known for his Kha'Zix, really aggressive, kind of high damage champions. And it wouldn't be surprising to actually see him on that Yasuo in the top lane, but we do see Lee Sin and Jax picked up. That is a scary two picks.
That's actually one of the reasons why they banned their Nectin there. They wanted to play the Jax, it looks like. Their Nectin's one of the harder counters, harder lanes for Jax to go against. And I guess they feel like there's just no picks that Jax would have any trouble with. Even if they pick Shyvana at this point, Jax is still not that bad against that. But they could still potentially pick like a Mundo or something, or an Nasus, so we'll see.
Mundo is exactly right up Morden's alley as well. I'm not sure if he's playing it too much lately, but I'm thinking about this. If you think how Nim played last game, on that vibe, he went for 1, maybe 2 ganks, towards the bottom side of the map, but that was it. And how's he gonna fare in Lee Sin? Because you kind of have to be aggressive.
Yeah, Lee Sin's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
He's a bit more mechanically intense champion. So after that Vi game, I'm not quite sure. And they're just gonna go in with the Leona. Leona versus Thresh is kind of a weird lane. Thresh really bullies you all the way up until level 6. And then once you hit 6, you could potentially just instantly kill somebody in Leona. And I mean, that's just any Leona lane. She just does so much CC and damage. It's insane. And Ezreal's the perfect person with that. You just hit the Leona combo, and then ultimate with Ezreal, and then shift into them, and you just pop somebody instantly. So yeah, I think that's pretty good picks out of them. And they also have Ezreal, who's going to be able to get away from the Jax. And of course, his Mystic Shot doesn't really get affected by Jax's dodge and all that kind of stuff.
And we did remind you guys at home, if you're just joining us today, every champion is available on the 4.1 patch for this tournament. But Ezreal has
bugged, isn't he?
He has a slight bug to him where his Q will actually reset his auto attack animation, which it can be a positive or negative thing depending on how you really look at it. But all players have been informed about it, so Haydal will know about that. And it looks like, I hope we don't see that Maokai.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to see. I don't think they can get Maokai because they have Lee Sin already. But I'm surprised they aren't picking the Vayne into the Ezreal. That's a pretty good against that. It's also a pretty good pickup against Leona because you can condemn her away when she goes in. But it looks like they want to offer the Sivir. On top of that. So it looks like they have a really big team fight comp. Both teams have team fight comps. You're probably going to see a lot of dragon fights this game. Because, I mean, Ocelot's team has that Gragas Yasuo combo, followed up by Leona. And, of course, you're going to have Ezreal backing it up. And then Furious Gaming is going to have that Orianna Wombo combo. I mean, you can even put the ball in Jax or Lee Sin. They can jump in and just pop somebody.
I think it's look at how fast they are too. I mean, you have the speed, the distance out of Orianna, you have the ultimate out of Severe, you have the Talisman Ascension if we do see Thresh go for that. Like, that is going to be ridiculously hard to get away from. And, oh my god.
Is it going to be the monkey? Is
We've
it
been
going to be
talking
the
about
monkey?
I want to save it for later if we potentially will see it. But if that does get lost, so during the other night, and we actually talked specifically about Wukong for, I think it was about 10, 15 minutes. You're talking about
It's
how
the monkey.
Talk why he's so damn good in the jungle, or if he will be there.
I mean, he could be top lane or the jungle at this point. But Yasuo, Wukong is also another good combo. You got AoE knockup. But I think Wukong is one of the most underplayed jungles in the game because he just has amazing base stats. He has Shyvana's passive. He has their exact passive pretty much. You get the same stats out of it. And then you have a 4.8 AD ratio on the ultimate. That's the highest AD ratio in the entire game. And it's AoE. It's AoE on top of that. So, and then you also have Armor Shred. I don't know. I just love the monkey.
You have attack speed steroid off your E.
Yep.
I mean, and your ultimate.
And you can also do a lot of really skilly ganks with his W.
Actually, you were talking about this exact matchup that night because you were talking about Lee Sin versus Wukong. As I mentioned, what about Lee Sin? Because he can see where you're going, and you pointed out something specifically for this. If you're a good Wukong player,
if you're actually really good with Wukong's W as decoy, you can block Lee Sin's skill shots with that. And then if you take that Lee Sin skill shot with your W, you just outright win the trade. So I don't really feel like Wukong gets pressured that much by Lee Sin. And then if Lee Sin decides to counter gank a Wukong's level 6 gank, he's just going to get knocked up in the AoE. So I really, really like Ocelot's team. Huge AoE wombo comp, really nice front line. You're going to have the Leona and the Wukong going in. And then you also have Yasuo is going to be flying in there, and Gragas is just going to be knocking everybody all over the place. So, I don't know. I really like Ocelote's comp. Maybe I'm just too big a fan of the monkey.
No, I agree. I mean, the thing is, he can get in there so easily because of that stealth. Like, he can just appear top lane, knock you up, and then Yasuo's going to get the kill. Or he can appear bottom lane, set up Leona at the same time.
And then on top of that, Sivir took cleanse. She didn't take barrier. So she's going to be almost a sitting duck for that Wukong gang. I really don't like that she took cleanse. I mean, you could stop a Leona stun. That's literally all you can stop on that entire team. So you're just going to pretty much instantly die to a Gragas Yasuo combo. Or Wukong. If anybody gets on her, she's dead.
I'm definitely with you about Ocelote's composition, but Fierce Gaming, they're fighting for their tournament hopes here. They're going to be on the blue side. We have OceloteWorld on the red side. Remember, OceloteWorld, if they win this game, they will advance into the semifinals to play against Pain Gaming a little bit later on today.
You know, I've actually never seen the Yasuo Jax top lane matchup. I'm not quite sure how that goes. I could see it being pretty even, though, at least for the first 6 levels. But of course, Gragas pressures Orianna pretty hard once you hit your ultimate. And even at level 2, you can all in with a body slam. And then, of course, you can have Wukong ultimate that's going to be potentially ganking off of that. So bottom and mid are going to see a lot of fights.
All right, well, I really want to see this game kick off. I feel like this is one of those games that it gets really explosive really quickly.
Yeah.
With just the whole comp that both teams have.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this just snowballing either way for either team. They just have these great team fights. Yeah, this should just be one explosive dragon fight, and it's just going to completely turn the tides of the game, probably.
And Fierce Gaming, we're finally seeing an invade here out of this team, or out of any team pretty much throughout the entire weekend so far, and it's going towards the blue buff. They wanted to deny us away from Wukong, and I'm assuming since you're such a big fan of Wukong, you know how he works in the jungle, but I'm assuming not that blue intense.
I mean, it's nice to have blue, but I don't really think they care. And they have Ezreal that's going to be sitting there watching that. Unless he gets caught watching the blue, Wukong could probably just go for their blue. And that's one of the reasons also why people stopped invading on top of that, because all the junglers became smart and like, oh, you took my blue, I'll take your blue. You took my red, I'll take your red. And they always just ended up in a trading situation. But they might catch Gragas here.
Oh, also the nice ward. Oh, wow. A nice ward over the wall, and he takes the body slam level 1 to escape from that thresh hook. Is that going to affect him in lane too much?
I mean, I think he'll be fine. He might have a little bit of farming troubles and get pressured in, but that's his case even if you have any of the other abilities on Gragas.
All right, well, right now we're going to see Morden start at his red buff here. We're going to have Nim start over at his red buff as well. And let's talk about the lanes away. You said top lane, you don't really see a Yasuo Jax combo, so we can skip over that one. We talked a little bit about Orianna and Gragas, how level 2 you can probably all in Orianna. At level 6 it becomes really dangerous for an Orianna. Is there anything else you can tell us about this lane? Because
I'm really surprised. The Orianna actually took her shield level 1.
And wow, we actually saw a counter evade coming out of OceloteWorld. They get 1984 very low on life. Actually over the flash to go for the ignite. Dio's getting taken very low by the turret, but he does escape and they get the first blood. But here he comes in from the side. He does have the red buff. He does have the ignite. He's going to be able to pick up this kill. K-Dow will go down, but it will allow the team, well, at least Dio, to escape.
That's so much early aggression. And I think it's a really big mistake. One summoner.
And wow, right now, because Morden did spot Nim towards the bottom side of the map, he's going for an invade here. He's going to take away this blue buff, and this could be huge.
Yeah, I like Morden's play on this. I mean, taking Lee Sin's blue is not like, oh, I'm going to have a little bit less energy regen. It's not that bad, but of course, he's going to get a little bit of level advantage off of that, assuming he does get it.
Oh, he's going for it here. He does have Smite available. He's going to be able to lock this one up, and you can see, ooh, that was close. Nim, it's just a little bit too late there, and it's unfortunate because he could have maybe gone for the counter jungler on his side if he wanted to, but he did head up towards that, and that does give Morden that nice advantage. And the thing is, earlier hits level 6, more dangerous this is going to get.
Yeah, you might see a gank on mid. Ocelot might actually body slam flash into Orianna, but I mean, she seems to know he's there, so nothing's going to happen on that.
And let's take a look at this top lane, because we're both not really too familiar with how this lane works out between these two champions. And JY right now looks like he's just shoving the lane. He does have a little bit of a CS advantage, but obviously that will be changed up here when Accelerated is able to get the CS.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that he's just pushing him in like this. I guess Yasuo has a lot of poke with his Q, so I'm assuming Jax just wants to farm under the turret until he's 6, because Jax is not the strongest champion until he's level 6, so I think he just wants to get those levels and happily farm under the turret right now.
And what's your thoughts on the items that he actually went for? Because he has a Doran shield compared to the Doran's Blade of JWoww.
I think that's definitely the way to go. I mean, Yasuo does a lot of auto attack damage, and assuming you do take a bad trade, it'll be good for you.
Oh, and the Q lands from Nim. He does get the slow with the red buff, but JWoww, he has Flash available. Looks like he's actually going to be forced to use it here as he does get Ignite. He does get the knock up. He's actually not going to use it, not even going to commit that. And look at the damage he did turning this around.
You know, that's actually a huge miscommunication error. On that part, because Jax had just used his stun proc on while he was farming into the turret.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but now Dio getting caught a little bit there. We see the aggression coming out of Fierce Gaming. They didn't look too strong in that last game with their AD carry support, but they're doing a lot better this time here, though. They're behind a little bit in CS, but you can see, I mean, they're just shoving OceloteWorld out of this bottom lane, and you kind of expected that, though, until we see Leona hit 6.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Thresh just has a little bit too much control over the lane. It's a ranged champion against a melee, and Leona, even if she does hit her E, you can play her mid-air, and it will stop her from doing anything. And you can just disengage off of that and poke her down, which is, I'm going to go and assume that's what happens, as Leona's so chunked here.
And right now, we do see Nim heading down towards the bottom side. He's not going to be spotted in that tri-bush, and he knows Haydock doesn't have flash, as well as Dude. All it takes is one hook. Tomax is going to be going in here. If he gets this hook, it's going to be very dangerous. He's going to go for Haydock. Doesn't land as Haydock does.
It's a mistake to go for the Ezra. I mean, of course he's going to arcane duck, but Leona that doesn't have flash. Like, remember, you took her flash in the early part of the game. You want to go for that sitting duck and get that clean kill that you can get.
I think there's only one man that's able to do that, or is allowed to, and that's Mad Life against Ezreal.
Yeah, Mad Life, like, all right, hook the guy top lane from bottom. All right, good job.
That's easy. Give me something harder to do.
Lantern me in.
Oh, man, but...
I'm just picturing somebody flying from bot lane with a lantern all the way up the top.
That'd be awesome. I'm sure there's some way to make that happen, but you see the damage on Haydock taken right there. Might even be somewhat of a bait here. As Morden going to be sitting inside that bush. He's not going to be spotted by Ward here, and all it takes is that one engage, though Haydock does have his barrier up. The juice engage happened. The flake coming in perfectly right there, but they're able to commit to this. Morden chasing him down, doesn't have red buff. It looks like Tomex is going to be able to escape off of this.
Yeah, really so weird to see the pre-6 Wukong gank, and on top of that, he mechanically failed. If you go in with Wukong like that, you want to auto-Q since it's an attack reset, and he could have got off a lot of extra damage on that, and he still had his flash up, so I guarantee if Wukong mechanically played that gank better, he would have had the kill.
Maybe it just kind of shows a little bit of a lack of playing Wukong out of Morden, or maybe nerves. I don't know what it is, but you definitely do know Wukong if you've played quite a bit and you're such a big fan of him. But in the meantime, we do see Ocelot doing a fairly good job mid lane. He's actually keeping up dead even in CS currently. He's a little bit behind just because of that wave being there, but he's having no troubles. Yeah, that's just the Gragas-Orianna matchup. Once you get a couple levels, especially once you hit level 6, you just pressure that Orianna because you can instantly kill her in one combo if she's out of position. And if the jungler decides to show up too, you're like dead to rights. And right now, Morden, he's still just jungling away. He's only level 5 right now, and he does have a little advantage over Nim, who will be getting a little bit of CS off of mid lane here, as well as some experience. Top lane, though, I still want to keep an eye on that because JWoww, he's hit level 6, as well as Accelerator, who's actually going in for him. The Windmaul, not really going to do anything right there, and you can see the damage that Accelerator is able to put down, and he was the kind of the saving grace, I want to say, for Fierce Gaming, as he was able to get the first one on JWoww in game number 1. Yeah, the lane's going about as they expected to go. Looked like Jax was a little bit pressured in the early game, but now that he hit level 6 and he's going to go and buy, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to scrap it out with him. Does have 800 gold to spend. Let's see what he picks up here. Maybe some boots. Probably a Vamp Scepter, maybe? No, Vamp Scepter. There you go. You're just spot on. You know exactly what they're going to buy here. But now, right now, Morden going for a red buff. Going to be hitting level 6 momentarily. There it is. Yeah, I'm actually really curious where he's going to go for the gank on. You have to remember, Sivir only has cleanse, so if they link up some good CC on that, instantly kill him. Same thing with Orianna. If Gragas knocks that Orianna back in, she's dead. There's also the other way around that too. If he gets the knock up first, and also can't possibly miss that barrel, but I think he got spotted by that minion running around. Some of the weirdest minion pathing ever. It's like that one minion in the Reddit video that you saw. It actually chased someone around the entire map, but right now he's not able to commit anything off that just yet. He's going to be spotted by that ward right there, and he's going to head up towards this top side. I actually don't think he got spotted by that. If you hug that edge, you actually don't get spotted by that ward, but that ward's definitely going to spot him. Yeah, that was definitely going to make it happen. He's heading up towards the top side. Accelerator already very low on life. Not going to, unfortunately, not going to land right there. But blue buff, but again, keep Orianna behind right now, or at least keep that blue buff away from her. And he's going to be able to at least stall him, and with Ocelot coming from the side, looking for a fight. Yeah, it looks like Orianna's going to be a little bit ahead of him on that, but you have to look, Jax is so pressured in top that Yasuo can just come down, and Jax isn't going to be able to do anything about this. It'll be a 3v2. And Jax isn't even healthy either for that trade that we just saw happen from top side, but right now, looks like we're going to see the smite steal actually going to be taken away. Nim does get the one, but he gets knocked up for his troubles. The ultimate out of Gragas, unfortunately, doesn't land because of the flash, but he gets the kill either way. He gets the blue buff, and now Morden's head towards his top side. He's looking for a kill on the Jax. He got that smite, but at what cost? I mean, they just delivered the blue buff right back to him. I mean, his best blue buff transfer in A. But we're in Brazil. Yo, we're saying NA, right? Well, right now, the bottom lane has gotten a little less wonky, a little less action happening. It's just to say that they start to battle it out right here. But CS, Haydow still has a nice lead, about 10 CS currently, and is the lane going to start to snowball here? Because
did you see those thresh mechanics right there? He pulled that minion in so that Server could last hit it. He planned that. This guy's an amazing thresh player.
You heard it here first. Saying call him best thresh player BR.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, it's just kind of, let's just keep farming, not really going for any kills. Dude is level 6. Hado is still only level 5 though because he was forced to back away.
Yeah, actually the Sivir lane, Sivir's going to hit level 6 before the Ezreal, and they also have that pretty big wave piling in. And on top of the Ezreal's a little bit chunked, so could be pretty dangerous for either side.
Right now we do see Morden going to be taking his own blue buff here. Unfortunately, didn't have that when he used his ultimate last time, so he's not going to have that reduced cooldown on that ultimate. But 40 seconds left, not that much. He does have flash available. He is spotted by that ward. And it looks like Nim is here to kind of counter gank this, but that just gave it away.
Really early Sivir ult. I'm not quite sure what she's going at with that. I didn't know if they were going to try to run into them and bait a fight since Lee Sin was right behind them with the boots of mobility. It's kind of really weird use of the Sivir ult. I don't know. Playing a little bit scared.
Yeah, I mean, I think they realize like what's on the line here. If they do lose this map, they will be knocked out in the quarterfinals. And they're the last Latin American team here that at least qualified through the Latin American qualifiers. So they want to at least have some sort of pride for their area. And unfortunately for them, it's not really in their favor, but right now it's only a 1,000 gold difference, so it's not like it's impossible for them to do this. I mean, you're expecting a lot of dragon fights to break out here. Are we going to see this happening anytime soon?
Yeah, but the situation in the bot lane is so back and forth. I don't think either team is in a position unless they get this gank off of this Wukong.
He does have flash. He does have that.
But Lee Sin's sitting in that brush too. He's waiting to counter gank this. He's going to get spotted by that ward.
All right, so. Oh, actually, we're going to see them go for the engager. Wukong comes from the side. They do that nicely on ultimate, paired in with the Ezreal ulti. Here comes Wukong. He does get slowed, though. He's forced to flash into there, but we see a nice flash coming out of Sivir. Now, Tomek's he's in trouble here with that base damage off that ultimate. Getting very low on health, but he's going to be able to escape here. And unfortunately, not going to be able to turn that around, but a great escape, a great flash out of 1984, but that might have just opened up Dragon. Yeah,
that was a really good threshold, and it managed to get the Wukong slow for just enough time where the Sivir would get out. But yeah, they probably will get Dragon off this. If you look, Orianna just went back to base. Gragas has all the control in that lane, so pretty much free Dragon right here.
Speaking of control, look at the CS lead he's been able to build up too. 94 to 72. That's really starting to get out of hand in the middle lane. And in the meantime, top lane, we see a little bit of fighting happening here, but he's fared decently well, but one downside is he doesn't have unlimited mana, basically like JWoww does.
Yeah, I think that's kind of nice. And also you have that passive that gives you the shield for trading. So I think once he gets that static shiv, it might be a little bit rough on Jax. But on the same notion, if he goes Blade of the Ruined King, or even Oscar a Gunblade, or some type of sustain item, I think he'll be fine. Well, and I'm really surprised that the Orianna is so far behind on CS when there's been not really that much jungle pressure. Like all the jungle pressure, they spotted him on the ward. He hasn't really been ganked that much. And the Gragas Orianna matchup is really just dependent on the jungler pressuring the lane.
And JWoww, nice use to Windward there, blocks the Q out of Nim, though I don't think it actually would have landed either way. But his thing is every time Nim has come towards his top side to go for a gank out of JWoww, the first time they both got low and they were forced to back away and JWoww was fine on health. This time just stops the gank with just his wind wall. Didn't even have a ward down spot him coming in, and he's committing so much time out of Nim towards his top side to help out Accelerator that he's just unable to gank other lanes currently.
Yeah, it was a really nice use of the wind wall, and he seems pretty confident on that champion. I really like that. I mean, he just doesn't care. He doesn't have a ward. He's just going to still play right up into them. And Wukong's going to be coming up here. He has his ult just coming up. He hasn't been back to buy in a long time, though. He doesn't have his Elder Lizard yet, but I'm pretty sure they'd win this 2v2.
Especially with that knockup, Yasuo should be able to go to town here. He does have that Zeal still done. So he also actually going for a little bit of counter dribbling here as well. Noticing that Lee Sin was top lane, he's like, all right, free rates for me. Might as well pick those up. And he's actually doing some damage onto Orianna here. He does have his ultimate available. He does get the Ignite down and the auto attacks, but it forces the barrier and the flash. Also, will he commit to this? No, he's going to back away.
Oh,
he doesn't have too much mana left.
Yeah, I think if he had a little bit more mana, he would have probably went for that.
In the meantime, you're actually seeing also, well, they were heading down from the top side here for some reason. It looks like blue buff is really what they want to see happen.
Oh yeah, they actually fought down a bot lane and Leona blew her ultimate, so he ended up whipping it, but it was at the cost of Sivir and Thresh's flash.
That's not a bad trade either way. That ultimate's not even on a long cooldown, and you're seeing them still try to be aggressive here. Seeing Hado, he actually went for a Sheen. So going straight into that Triforce, as we do see them go straight on the 1984, but a nice use of that spell shield does block the stun, and the hook does land on a Hado. They're going to commit to this. His Thresh ultimate comes down, but 1984, he just can't get close enough. He's just already so low on life, and they just turn straight on the Tomex, but now they're just falling so low. Also, will have to be careful here, but Tomex lane.
Yeah,
potentially looking for a kill.
The Leona's just so beefy, it provides so much healing.
That is a slow. That is Wukong coming in. That is not going to have to save his life. They pick up the kill right there, so that's 2 quick kills coming in. In the meantime, Nim heading down, does pick up 1 kill, but not actually his AD carry died, unfortunately, in the meantime. But now Dude, he's stuck here.
He's going to be running right into him.
Oh, he does get taken down, but at what cost is Nim? Actually tries to flash over the Dragon Wall, but it's taken down. And that was a 2-for-3 trade right there.
I've only seen that
2-for-4 trade, sorry, for OceloteWorld.
I've only seen that Lee Sin flash 2 times in this game, and both have been straight into the wall.
Maybe it's his style, maybe it's him saying he's not afraid.
He's playing mind games with him, man. He's like, they'll just flash over the wall, and I'll be still chilling here on the other side. Idiots.
All right, now JWoww with Accelerator actually invading. Pretty big goal lead building up for OceloteWorld, only 14.5 minutes in. What's at that 5K mark?
Yeah, that Yasuo top piece. So really sure if he's supposed to win that match. But this Jax has red buff.
That is the deck Accelerator, and that is red buff going over to JWoww on top of it. Fantastic for them, fantastic communication as well. And now Orianna, he said, trying to go for blue buff here. We do have more to come from the side, but you can see, look how scared they are to actually contest this.
It's a 3v2, their Jax is dead. Even though they don't have their ultimates up, I don't think they want to take this fight. Orianna's ult's still down, Lee Sin's ult is still down as well.
Oh, he gets it with the smite! Last second, fantastic job by him to turn that one around at least, but unfortunately for them still, Orianna has not had a blue buff this entire game.
Yeah, I think putting the blue buff on the Lee Sin and just denying it from the Orianna is just as good as taking it yourself.
All right, now we see the bottom lane of OceloteWorld. They've dead even in CS right now, though we have the Triforce done for Haydal here, and they're actually starting to push up a little bit because of the rest of the pressure coming in around this map. And Morden, he wants to take away the red buff as well. He wants to deny everything he possibly can, and
I gotta
the thing
say,
is, he's actually behind in levels compared to Nim.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm actually really impressed with Ocelot this game. He just came from top lane, he just came from their blue buff, he's been all over the map.
Well, he did just miss a kill down on towards the bottom side of the map. Haydal was able to pick up that kill under turret, it looks like, and they're even going to push in towards these double golems. I mean, right now, OceloteWorld have full control of this bottom half of the jungle.
Yeah, looks like a pretty different Ocelot. He's just completely controlling his lane. He's roaming everywhere on the map. He has the game in his hands. He's just doing whatever he wants to do. And all Wukong has to do is back him up, and they're just insta-pop anybody who decides to contest.
And with being such a huge fan, actually we do see right now Morden getting engaged upon right there over towards the Wraith camp. And he's going to be able to escape here, but not without the cost of his ultimate being used.
Yeah, that's both Wukong and Gragas ultimate. They don't really have that long of cooldowns, and of course they have CDR for the jungle item, so that's not that bad of a trade, and at least he makes it out with his life. They already have almost they have a 5,000 gold lead, almost 6,000 at 16 minutes in the game. This is not looking good for Furious Gaming. OceloteWorld has such a good team fight comp, and once it comes to this next dragon, if Furious Gaming decides to contest it, it's going to be ugly for them.
And look at that damage. Oh no, the Warden doesn't get over the wall, and that's going to cost Accelerator his life, or at least his flash. He does go down, and we're seeing flashes into walls, Wardens into walls. It's just not working out well.
Yeah, it looks like Furious Gaming is a little bit flustered, and they're just getting outclassed in the lanes right now.
I mean, if you look across the board, speaking of that, I mean, top lane, 170 to 115 CS, mid lane, 153 to 120. The only lane that's really keeping up is this bottom lane, but Haydal has those 4 kills under his belt.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ezreal already has his Triforce. He has the Vamp Scepter. They're going to probably pick up this next dragon. I don't see any way they're going to contest it. Even though Wukong doesn't have the ultimate, nobody's really in position to do anything about it. The Lee Sin's down there, but I don't know. I don't really think that they could win a straight out fight against them.
The thing is, JWoww is just constantly pushing this top, but it's pulling multiple members of Fierce Gaming up towards that top side. You see the bottom lane, a fight already breaking out here. XA4 getting very low. He actually flashed out the Ezreal ulti, gets saved by Nim towards the backside, but here comes Warden from the side. Tomex, I'm not sure if he's able to escape this. They do land the Q onto him. Here comes Ocelot. The ulti going to come out. It's not going to get the kill, but it will knock Lee Sin away, and it will basically guarantee them this dragon.
Scumbag Ocelot trying to chaos the kill from them. In the rules of League of Legends, it's in the tutorial.
Oh wow, that's very true. Over to OceloteWorld, they have an 8,000 gold lead almost right now. It's just slipping further and further into their own hands, and I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if you can think of anything either where Fierce can kind of get back into this. I would imagine farming would probably be the best or the first thing.
I don't think that's happening. Every time they walk in the lane to try to do anything, they just get butchered. Like, look, the Jax is just like, oh, I'm going to hide in this brush and hope you go away. Please don't hurt me anymore, Batman.
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't go away right there. In the meantime, we're having Ocelot push out middle. Does have that blue buff available. Athenes and Holy Grail sitting on 800 gold. Does have a Nuclear Rod as well on top of that. So he's basically a full half an item ahead of his opponent right now. He's actually getting ganked in middle, but he actually does dodge out on that Sonic Wave. Morden is off to the side to make something happen, as well as JY is coming down from that top side, and we could see Oriana getting dove on here.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to walk up to that. That's pretty scary. Wukong, Yasuo, and Gragas sitting in front of you.
And you know, you were talking about how you're a big fan. Oh, actually, meantime, we see bottom lane, another fight breaking out here. And Tay4 able to dodge his ulti yet again here, forcing the flash at a dude. But at what cost, really? Because now it's a 4-on-2, at least a 3-on-3 now. Because we have Warden coming down from the top side. He's looking for that initiate here. Dio doesn't have ulti available, might have Zenith Blade in just a second. They're not going to go for the fight here. In the meantime, also on the backside, just harassing around Oriana here, and you can see they're kind of stuck here. They have to make a move. You have Accelerate towards the top side pushing up, but we see the bomb turret go down. We see Nim getting pushed in a little bit too far. Here comes Oslo. You see that perfect position for the ultimate with the help of Morden. Luis actually go for it. He does use it, spreads it completely apart as Yasuo comes in. They pick up one. Stop the Oriana ultimate from coming in because they kill him off quick enough. I was just pushing that top lane, looking for a turret, but losing a turret, losing 4 men, losing potentially another turret on top, but it's not a good trade.
And that's the combo I've been waiting all game to see. They had the Wukong ult, Gragas knock up, Yasuo just came in and just cleaned everybody up. A really nice play.
The thing is, he has a BF sword. He's basically close to his Infinity Edge if he wants to pick that up next. Like, he is at the point where he's so damn tanky that Fierce Game doesn't really have an answer to it. I mean, maybe a Thresh Hook would help stop him from doing anything in the middle of the fights, but hard land that with the Wukong and Gragas, and
yeah,
that's just about it. I mean, you have
so
a
many people flying at you. I don't think there's anything going on here with that. They just have too much of a lead, and OceloteWorld basically would just have to get aced at Baron and then lose Baron. It's the only way I could see Furious Gaming come back into this game.
And those boost ability almost made it so Morning could actually catch up to Accelerator right there, but in fact, just gonna back away. And if you're a big fan of Wukong in the jungle, is this the typical item build you see out of him, or is this something you'd like to see?
I mean, the boots are all situational, really by choice. I don't particularly like the boots and mobility, but they don't have that much CC, so I'm fine with it. Usually you want to get like Merch Red, so. And of course he's going to just turn that giant spell into a random, and he's going to be the tankiest thing ever. And then he'll eventually finish that Black Cleaver, if the game even gets to that point. It'll just armor share for the Yasuo and the Ezreal.
Funny enough, look what Dio's picked up. He's got the shield, but it didn't come in until like not that long ago. He actually didn't start in the lane with that, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
it's kind of weird that he would go straight for that Doran. Like, I don't think you really have to start Doran's shield on Leona. I think you can get away with going to Targans.
Look at the damage that JWoww does. He makes Accelerator flashing out of that Wukong ultimate. He does get that ultimate unavailable right now, but he's going to actually lose the turret in the meantime, and he's going to be able to still get some CS here, but on all fronts, OceloteWorld is just controlling the game.
One last turret on the outside of their base. That's all they're going to hold on to. So they pretty much have really heavy control around Baron now. I think what OceloteWorld needs to do right now is they just need to, they have really good vision around Baron. They can deny all that, and they just need to contest that.
They use the pull on Oslo here with the red buff. The ultimate coming out completely spreads them apart. Now Tomex might get in trouble here as Morden is trying to chase him down, but said he does just back away, going to keep this advantage that they've been able to build up here. And not to mention JWoww's not really in the vicinity to help out with this one, but it is a little bait right there, but they still use that pink ward for it.
Yeah, but now they don't have Threshold. I don't think that they're too scared about getting engaged on anymore. I mean, that's one of their main forms of lockdown is that Thresh ultimate. So also they're really far behind. Even if they hit that Threshold you saw, they didn't have enough damage and people in position to even kill that Gragas.
And not to mention, also was able to pick up that Death Cap. Now his damage is going through the roof. So hey, going with that Blade of the Roof. The Rune King and gone to a phase as well, so he's going for that Triforce next, but I feel like he's not tanky enough to deal with Teemo OceloteWorld with just that Blade of the Rune King.
I honestly feel like if it was the right fight, the Gragas and the Yasuo could 2v5 their team.
Well, we're going to see that Oriana completely disappear. Maybe a couple of ultimates used there that weren't really necessary. They do pick that one up. Wukong does have his ultimate available. Yasuo is going to be up momentarily here, and they're going to continue barreling down on this inhibitor turret. I'm not sure if Furious Gaming can hold on to this.
Yeah, Oriana died almost instantly, and that's the beauty of that Gragas combo plus the Yasuo. You can engage from so far away, and you have such a huge power spike of damage. I don't think they're going to be able to defend this without their Oriana. That's their main form of wave clear. Sivir has pretty low range, even though you can clear with the Boomerang Blade, but I think they're just going to walk right up in there and just take this.
And not to mention, also has a blue buff, so his ultimate's going to be on a quick cooldown right now. They're going to start pushing, they're going to get this inhibitor turret, that's going to fall very, very fast. And you see Dio just zone them out completely from this. They're going to get inhibitor off this as well. I mean, they're approaching being 15,000 gold up right now. As Hadal does get locked down with the stun. He does get forced away. He's actually still escaping with a little bit of life right now. He gets kicked back into his team. He's going to survive this. And you're seeing JWoww. Look at the damage he just did to Severe. The Orion's coming out. JWoww gets very low. He's going to get shut down, but also turns around, picks up the kill, and somehow Hadal is still alive. He's still trying to run. He's still trying to escape. His name is trying to chase him down. Will he have the team to back up? Yes, they do back up. Hadal stays alive, and now we're seeing Oriana trying to run away. Going to hit the Lantern. Going to escape, but the Yoda ultimate going to be used there just cause, you know, why not?
Yeah, I can't believe Hadal lived there. It looked like he was trying his hardest to die there. He actually walked straight up to the Jax, high-fived him, got stunned in the face and died.
Oh, saw Barrow rolling, or body slam over the wall, picks up the kill. He's now 6-0-6 in this game. Gragas going to come out as the ultimate. It's actually going to get played away from that body slam, but look at the damage just did from the ultimate and that Q. If he landed that body slam, that would have been a dead thrush.
Yeah, the fat man kind of hurts at this point. He's probably going to go back and pick up most of the parts of his Void Staff. Yeah, he's sitting on right around the money for it, so even if they do decide to get any magic resist at this point, which they don't have the money for either, he's just going to two-shot you anyways. And you know what's really strange about this? The Ezreal actually went with the Boots of Swiftness instead of the Zerkers. He just wants to have that really high mobility build. He has Blade of the Ruined King that's going to give him the Speed Burst and the Triforce, and the Boots of Swiftness. He's just going to be running so fast.
The thing is, it's funny is that was the only fight out of this entire game that he was actually pressured in a team fight sense, where he got dove in the back. So that was his fault for getting caught, I feel like, because he got stunned up and he
didn't even get caught. He just walked straight up at the Jack. He's like, what are you gonna do about it? And then of course he got caught by like 8 stuns and somehow made it out. I have no idea how.
Right there. But right now, we see also, I mean, they have control of this game completely. I'm really surprised that they're not trying to finish it anytime soon, or maybe even go for Baron. But we see the Gragas Barrel actually opens up. We're going to see Accelerator drop instantly right there with the combo. And that is just Yasuo Gragas.
Yeah, that's Yasuo Gragas right there.
Got in that double kill. We see on the backside. Now Oriana getting caught here, trying to take that hate up, but he doesn't have the damage he needs because he's so limited on farm. He's going to get taken down, and this is certainly going to be the end because they have the super minions in the middle. They haven't pushed onto these Nexus turrets. They're going to go for the first one here. They're going to be able to pick this one up, and he's sitting in Thresh. There's nothing they can do about this.
Yeah, this game looks pretty much over. I don't think Thresh is going to be able to defend against all these fed people.
Oh yeah, so he's going to be kicked back into the turret, but he actually does stay alive. The Luke also come in. They even get the kill on Tomex. Someone should tell them that KD doesn't really matter right now. They can just finish this game, but they're going to lock this one down. They're going to pick this up, and a clean sweep, a 2-0. OceloteWorld can advance on into semifinals, play against Pain Gaming, and you hear the crowd cheering for them now. I wonder what's going to happen when you have Pain versus them.
Yeah, it's so funny. The Portuguese casters are telling us that OceloteWorld's team is basically Brazilian to them. It was at least in this particular matchup. So they're a little bit behind them.
And you see that they've got to be happy considering how quickly they just kind of packed up everything and came down here for this event, coming in last minute, probably tired as hell from the fights on top of that, and to not have that much practice, and with all the I guess sad thing that's been happening to them, you know, with them not qualifying for the Coke League, also leaving SK Gaming, making his own team here. This has got to be a nice little breath of fresh air for them to realize, you know, guys, we're still a good team. We should keep working at this.
Yeah, I got to say, I was actually really surprised how well they played that second game. They won outright in the laning phase. They controlled buffs. They controlled objectives, even though they didn't really control Baron that much, which I would have liked to have seen more. But they just ran them over in the laning phase. Like every lane won. There wasn't even anywhere close. They just all won outright. They picked up dragons. They secured almost every blue buff and kept it from the Oriana, so she couldn't really do anything. And then they were taking red buffs from the Lee Sin. So they had a really nice team comp too. I really like that team comp. A lot of synergy. Really good.
What was your thoughts on JWoww in that top lane? Because I like being able to see a player that could play someone that's a tank like Renekton, and then be able to transition to someone that can play an aggressive assassin at the same time. Yeah,
I really like adaptable play. I honestly didn't expect him to pull out the Yasuo top. It looked really good. I didn't know how I was going to fare into that Jax matchup. I guarantee the Jax has probably never even played this matchup either. Yeah, I'm serious. People will go into games. I'm like, wow, this is a kind of an oddball pick. I'm not sure how to play this. So maybe got caught off a little bit, caught off guard on that, and played the matchup a little wrong, but looked pretty strong.
And I mean, let's just go the kills for the entire team of OceloteWorld. There's 6-1-5 for JWoww on that Yasuo, 4-0-6 for Morden on that Wukong, 7-0-8 for Ocelot and Gragas, 6-2-6 for Hadal and Ezreal, and then Dio died once, 0-1-14.
I just hope they all report Ezreal for dying twice.
Damn it, hey now. But yeah, either way, congratulations to them. Advancing on to the semifinals to play against Pain Gaming. That will happen a little bit later on today. But for now, we're going to head to the stage for an interview with, I'm assuming, Ocelot.
Okay, with Ocelot here on the stage. Congratulations first of all, Carlos. Great game. And a really good game for you personally as well in those first two matches. I wanted to talk to you about your scarf not being around your neck, but I guess I don't need to because it's so warm. Talk to me about game one. They got first blood, they got first dragon. Were you guys worried at all?
No, not really. Because, oh, sorry, you have to. Okay, sorry for that. Just translate.
Okay, so basically I asked, they got first blood, they got first dragon. Were they worried at all?
Se ele estava preocupado com o First Blood, com o primeiro dragão, se estava preocupado no geral assim?
We weren't too worried because all we wanted to do is skirmish a lot. We wanted to fight them all the time. We came to this tournament basically with the mindset of we really don't care if we go 0-2. We just want to have fun, just play aggressive, play how we know. And if you see our scrims online, like we tend to die a lot because we play very, very aggressive. And that's what we're going to do here. Like, doesn't matter against who we play.
Exato, eles estavam usando, eles não se importaram porque eles queriam usar bastante tática de guerrilha, de simplesmente brigar bastante com o time dos caras. Eles jogam extremamente agressivo, não importa se vai morrer ou não, é o jeito que eles jogam exatamente para matar e no final das contas acabou funcionando.
On behalf of IEM, we'd like to thank you for coming at very short notice. It was very kind of you guys to jump on a plane and come to Sao Paulo. I know the crowd here love that you guys are here, but for you personally and for your team, how have you moved on from the disappointment of Challenger League and coming out here? Is this just a distraction for you? Is this something new? Is this something you can actually aim at?
So IEM for me personally has been always the biggest tournament in my eyes, you know. For me, IEM is like the tournament. So I will just try to go to every single IEM I can. You know, when this opportunity happened, I didn't even think about it. I booked the flights of everybody. I booked everything of everybody. We missed 2 passports. I called everywhere, every embassy, because we needed the passports in like hours. I didn't sleep that night. So I really wanted to come here. And I'm very, very happy that finally I get to meet the Brazilian fan base. It's just one of the best fan bases ever. You can see how they yell. It's like one of the very best crowds ever, man. Thank you very much to all of you, man.
Ele acabou de dizer, inclusive, que ele foi avisado num período muito curto de tempo. Então, se foi uma distração ou não para o time do Ocelote vir para cá, e se isso atrapalha em alguma coisa. Mas não. Ele falou lá que não foi uma distração. O IEM para ele, aos olhos dele, é o maior campeonato que tem, é o campeonato mais bacana que existe. E afinal de contas, quando ele ficou sabendo que ele podia para vir para cá para o IEM, simplesmente ele perdeu 2 passaportes, arrumou voo para todo mundo, simplesmente para vir voando para cá, conhecer a galera de São Paulo, a galera do Brasil, que eles adoram tanto, que dá um mega suporte para eles.
Semi-finals now, straightforward into the semi-finals. You now play Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming are, if you don't already know, one of the most popular teams in Brazil right now. They have massive support. So unlike the last game, when you guys were the kind of crowd favourites, you're now going to go up against the crowd. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's how it is. You know, we play in Brazil. We play against the best team of Brazil. Everybody's going to cheer for them. All I hope is that we bring them a good game, even though they're not going to cheer for us as much, or we never know. I'm just going to do my best to make the game interesting. Doesn't matter.
Que eles jogaram agora com toda a base de fãs brasileira, que vai mudar para o lado do Pain Gaming no próximo jogo. Como é que isso faz ele se sentir? Ele falou que sem dúvida nenhuma vai ser mais complicado, mas mesmo assim o que importa não é nem o resultado em si do jogo, é trazer uma mega experiência para vocês assistirem.
So that is it for our quarterfinals. They are all done and dusted now in history books. We have our 4 teams into the semi-finals, and they kick off momentarily with Millennium versus 7 Wars.